Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching or listening to us from. Welcome to another episode of the Naija FC Podcast. Another week, another fantastic report of football with regards to Nigerian players all around the world. My name is AyoT and my co-host is
Like,
yes, thank you very much, Miklai. Nice to be on this with you once again. Like I said, another week has gone. Lots of Nigerian footballers in action. At Eagle Striker, we followed over 261 different matches this past weekend, just trying to keep tabs on Nigerian footballers everywhere from Bangladesh all the way to you know Tanzania to anywhere you can think of in the world. I'm sure there are a couple Nigerian players there. Um, we want to talk about one game in particular, but before we get there, let me just do a quick rundown of players who impressed this past week that I think are worthy of recognition. Stanley Wabali kept a clean sheet. He saved a penalty for Chippa United in their cup quarter-final victory. Olaino had a good game for Nottingham Forest, 4 interceptions, one chance created. Calvin Bassey had a good game for Fulham. Izuchukwu Anthony had a good game for Nantong. He plays in a very low league in Asia, but he's been impressing for them. So I just want to call him out and give him some kudos. Joseph Olowu had a good game for Doncaster Rovers. 9 goals, one chance created, helped them keep a clean sheet. Franklin Tebo had a good game for Sapsburg in Norway. He scored a goal from defense. He made 5 clearances, won 7 of his duels. Joshua Kuje in Georgia, I believe, Dynamo Tbilisi, also had a good game in defense, winning 7 goals, keeping a clean sheet. Bright Osai Samuel was good for Fenerbahce, won 6 goals, created 3 chances, so contributing in both offense and defense um, over the past weekend. Joe Aribo had a good game for Southampton, created 1 goal scoring chance, won 6 of his duels in midfield. Samson Tijani, happy, he's played a couple games now since he came back from his injury. He's been doing quite well. 9 goals, won 3 blocks, had a good game for Wolfsberger. Ibrahim Olawoyin, one of the midfielders that has been more impressive this season playing in Turkey, also had an assist and continues to put in good performances for KK Rizespor. Ifeanyi Matthew, another midfielder that has been doing quite well this season, playing for FC Zurich in Switzerland. He won 5 goals, he created 2 goal scoring chances. And then Rafael Onyedika, scored another goal, his third goal in the past 2 matches for Club Brugge, is unlocking a new side to his game. After he scored the first 2 goals the previous week, I sent a message to Rafael. I said, Raf, hope you're not going to be taking too long to score another one now. And he told me, he said, bro, the next one will come soon, don't worry. And then the next one came in the next game. So, Rafael, congratulations on being a man of your word. Um, Fantastic one for Club Brugge. Bamidele Yusuf, 1 goal, 1 assist for FK Radniki Nice. Good performance. Viv Solomon Otabo scored his first goal and also got an assist for Kangzhou Mighty Lions in the Chinese Super League. He's been impressive over the past 3-4 weeks since he moved to China. Rofia Timura, Super Falcons defender, played as a left forward for Stade de Reims. She scored 2 goals against a Chiamaka Nadozie less Paris FC. It was an interesting game. I actually watched that one. Ibrahim Said scored 1 goal, created 1 chance for Viborg in Denmark. Ibrahim Said, is a player that represented Nigeria at the youth level. I've been following his journey since he started playing in Viborg. And he doesn't score that many goals, but when he does score, his goals are actually always quite beautiful ones, and he scored another beautiful one over this past weekend. So kudos to him. We have Peter Olayinka, scored 1 goal, created 5 goal scoring chances for Red Star Belgrade in their 3-0 victory. He was the Eagle Tracker Star of the Week. His performance was actually very, very impressive over the weekend. James Adeni scored a goal for Hapoel Hadera. Godwin Aguda scored a goal for Falkenbergs. Tolu Arokodare scored a goal for KFC Genk. Francisca Odega scored one and got 1 assist for CSK Moscow Women in the Russian Women's League. And then, of course, we also have Victor Boniface, who scored 1 goal and provided 1 assist for Granit Xhaka in Bayer Leverkusen's victory over Werder Bremen. I'm sure there's some players that I forgot, there's some players that I don't mention. We cannot take them all unless we'll be here for the next 2 days. But yes, kudos to our Nigerian players who performed all over the weekend. Smidlai, anybody there that's you want to just hail or you want to talk about quickly?
you can't. You have to talk about Rafael Onyedika. Since the Afcon, You can see clearly that his game has improved, and the confidence is there now. He's now becoming like a man
Mm.
in that central midfield for Club Brugge. So unfortunately, one of Club Brugge and Pauk have to crash out, in the UEFA Conference League.
Mm.
So, but if I have to choose the one that is playing currently. Rafael Yerega, very good player, and I expect him to move. I
Mm.
can tell you, I expect him to move this summer. Very, very good player. I'm really, really impressed with him too. I have to also mention Rafael Timura. I'm a very big fan of Rafael Timura. I know that she's got the ability to play the left wing, the left what's it called, left back. She did well during the Under-20 World Cup for Nigeria. What a player, very good player. I just think she needs to work more, work harder, and she'll be back in the Super Falcons. So for me, I can just they actually what did well. Stanley Wabadi, I remember that again saving penalty again. I know that some Africans were thinking about that. Are you sure this guy is not doing something,
Mm.
but he's just saving everything? So I won't save my money in his hands for now. I can only save my money with
Sure.
Chamakaye now. So, but he still needs some time to convince me more. So that is it.
Very well said. Very well said. And let's talk about the our main focus for today. We have to give plaudits. We have to give praise. We have to hail our two Super Eagles players. I'm talking about Victor Boniface and Nathan Tella, who have been crowned the champions of Germany with Bayer Leverkusen. And what a way for them to win the title. Playing against Werder Bremen at home in the Bayer Arena, and a blowout victory, winning 5-0. Victor Boniface opened the scoring from the penalty spot. He set Granit Xhaka up for the second, a long range strike, and then Florian Wirtz took over, and scored a hat trick. I think for Bayer Leverkusen, it wouldn't have made any more sense than for those three players to be on the score sheet. It reminds me of the game that Chelsea played against Napoli in 2012 when Chelsea won the Champions League. After losing the first leg, and then in the second leg, Drogba scored, Lampard scored, John Terry scored, Ivanovic scored. And it's like, if you are going to come back and win a game like that, for all your big players to score, it makes sense. And then for Bayer
Mm-hmm.
Leverkusen, Boniface, who was leading their charge before he got injured earlier in the season, coming back,
Mm-hmm.
scoring a goal to open the scoring. Granit Xhaka, who is their leader on the field, the most experienced player in their team, scoring in that game. And then Florian Wirtz, who is their young star boy, 20-year-old boy. That guy, oh man, that guy is good. Scoring his first career hat trick in front of their home fans. I think it was just the perfect atmosphere. They are still unbeaten this season in all competitions. So they are having an incredible run, incredible year. And of course, the two Nigerian players were in action, I think. So that's also something that we have to give them credit for. Both players joined Leverkusen over the summer. So it's their first season for the club, first season under their head coach, Xabi Alonso. Well, first season for them under Xabi Alonso. Alonso joined last season. But I just think he's an incredible fit, from where Boniface, especially from where he started in Nigeria to now be a champion in Germany. I just think it's the stuff of dreams, man. He posted a photo of himself on Twitter, showing when he was a young boy, wearing mismatched boots, looking very scrumpy and skinny. And now to be on top of Germany, it's just incredible. I think that's one of the things that makes players from Nigeria, players from Africa, their stories are so special, because where they come from to where they've got to, is only grace and God and hard work that takes you there. But yes, like, what did you think of Leverkusen winning the German Bundesliga for the first time ever?
It's I remember in 2001 or 2002 when Leverkusen were the final of the cup, they were the final of the Champions
Yeah,
League, also about to win the league. They
they
lost
bottled everything.
on three occasions, so they called them Leverkusen.
Never
So
cousin.
yes, they called them, yes, because of they call them the perennial underachievers. They don't win, but they just show promise. But I think this time around, luck smile on their side, and they actually what I won't say it's luck, it's hard work. In fact, after the first 10 games of the season, I knew that they are actually what up to something. I remember the game against Bayern Munich when they drew 2-2. That was a statement game to show that, oh, come on, we are not here, you cannot just lie, follow. And you can see clearly that they now call them Bayern Leverkusen. So they call them Bayer Leverkusen, late Leverkusen, because they normally like to leave it late. If it's 85th minute, don't think that
Don't write
you
them
are
off.
winning the game. Don't write them off. Don't write them off. You can ask West Ham. Don't write them off. They will actually what come for you. So I'm happy the fans deserve it, because for me, I see them as big as with teams like Dortmund at par. In Germany, but for them not to have won, the Bundesliga for in their history, I think they deserve it now. The fans also deserve it. I saw the celebration last weekend. Everyone was red, to celebrate those guys. And I'm also happy that they didn't just do that. About 5 African players contributed to their success. So, like Adi of Morocco, Tella of Nigeria, Odido Kosono of Ivory Coast, Topsoba of Burkina Faso, and also our own star boy Victor Boniface, of Nigeria. So, and I'm happy that despite that Boniface was injured before the AFCON, it was difficult for him to come back, but he came back. He scored 2 goals, one in the Europa League and one now for them to actually to win the Bundesliga. So I'm really, really actually happy for our boys. At least we don't get a champion now. We don't get champion in the top 5 European league.
Mm.
So, and kudos to Tella too. He came in, though only 5 starts throughout the season, but 5 goals in 5 starts, and he was creating opportunities. He was having like 10 tackles or so. So to tell you that it's not just a passenger too. He also came to actually contribute to that team. So I'm really, really actually happy for them. It's good for our players to have winning mentality. So when they come to Super Eagles, it's not just about losing. They will not see Sierra Leone and be scared. It's not. So I'm really, really happy for Bayer Leverkusen. So and I'm really, really happy.
Mm. And let me ask this question, because everybody's talking about it. Leverkusen just won the Bundesliga. They are still in the Europa League. They are still in the DFB Pokal in the final. For me, I think that they are going to win the German Cup for sure. I think they are playing against Zikli Southern in the final.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them not to win that one. But the Europa League is the one that is a little bit tricky. One of the top contenders, Liverpool, they lost their first leg 3-0. So Lookman's Atalanta might be about to knock Liverpool out and make the road a little bit easier. But do you think that Leverkusen can actually complete the treble? And Bismillah, our historian, do we have Nigerian players who have done the treble before?
Let me just start by saying that Victor Boniface and Tella, they've joined the league of Nigerian players that actually won the Bundesliga before. The first Nigerian player to actually win it was Karibe Ojigwe in Kazakhstan. That was in 96-97 season. He actually won the league with them, and he also got a move to Leverkusen. After that too, but unfortunately, he did not win the league in Bayer Leverkusen. He came second. We also have the former Super Eagles captain too, Nigeria's Sunday Olise and Victor Ekpeba were part of the Dortmund team that actually won the Bundesliga. So talking about players actually winning treble, treble is different from treble. Normally, the the treble they are winning is not really treble. You do respect. The treble that we call treble is the FA Cup, like the League Cup, like their own German Cup, the Bundesliga or Premier League, and also and also the Champions League. I don't think any Nigerian player have actually done that before. So he's not actually done that before. So we have to I just think that they can actually what do it for themselves, and they actually what make history for Nigeria.
Amazing. I mean,
Yes.
it's an
But
incredible.
so, let me just say something.
Okay, go on.
Sorry, Treble, for example, now Enyimba won the Champions League in Africa. They also won the league in Nigeria
Yeah.
and the FA Cup in Nigeria too. So in the same, so I don't know, maybe that one can be a treble.
I mean,
I don't know, maybe.
it's a Nigerian treble. Yeah, we have to give it. But this one is the European treble. So it's still treble not treble as long as not three trophy where you carry. But
Yes.
I was going to say is Boniface, man, his journey has been incredible. On the rise. He played against Bayer Leverkusen for Sengirwa last season. Jabi Alonso saw him and then signed him, and then now he's winning the league with him. And I saw you posted it, and so I know you've seen the comments that the president of Bayer Leverkusen made, where he said every year they have to sell one player in order to balance the books and for them to be able to make 2 or 3 signings. So they will
Mm,
probably sell one of their star boys this summer. Do you think
yes.
Boniface should be on the move, or should he stay where he is, play another season in Leverkusen, be dominant for them, try to maybe win the Bundesliga again, play in the Champions League? What do you think?
You know, I I want him to actually was stay in Bayer Leverkusen and at least play one more season under this manager. So there's some areas he need to polish in his game and become like a better player. Because one thing we must admit is this: Boniface improved from the time when he was in Belgium. But there's still some areas in his game he needs to actually improve. I think that if you play under this manager for one more season, he's going to be a better player, but it's going to be hard. We saw the report on Sky Sports about a month ago or two that one big club already made an inquiry about Victor Boniface that is still on the treatment table. He was still on the treatment table then. No, they already, because his first half of the season is even enough
Yeah.
for big clubs to notice the ability, what Boniface can actually do. So it's going to be very hard for them to hold on to Boniface. And for scavengers, like for desperate people around, like people of the blues, it's going to be very hard because because they would tempt Leverkusen with money because they can buy anybody. They would tempt Leverkusen with money, and I'm hearing that the people wearing red and the people wearing blue that they based in London, they are interested in the big striker.
Let's see
If you
what.
know the people wearing red and the people wearing blue, at least you should be able to
No,
know
yeah,
who
everybody
I'm
will know
talking
who we're
about.
talking about. And for me, I think I kind of hold the same sentiment. It would be nice for him to stay in Leverkusen, play in the Champions League, develop and become an even better player, play a full season by God's grace without injuries, and just improve himself and then increase his stock even more before he makes a big move to maybe a Premier League club or so. But at the same time, if Leverkusen receive like a 60 million bid, I don't know if they'll be able to say no. By the time they tell Boniface that, okay, we'll pay you 150K a week, Boniface, na Naija boy, he likes to live a good life. I don't know if himself will be able to say no to that kind of salary. Even his agent himself, by the time they look the commission where they won't pay, even the agent himself go talk to him, guy, let's make this move. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be difficult for sure. And just to round off, I want to ask now this question, and I'm asking this question to our followers, our subscribers, listeners as well. Last season, we saw Victor Osimhen triumph with Napoli and become a champion in Italy. This season, we have seen Victor Boniface and Nathan Tella triumph with Bayer Leverkusen and become champions of Germany. Who do you think can be the next champion of a European top 5 league amongst our Nigerian players? Like, do you have any guess there?
For me, I'm going to say it's going to be Samuel Chukwueze. So I think of AC Milan, I think they are now well equipped to win it. I don't see Inter repeating the defending this what's it called? This the Syria next season. I think it's gonna be a time for a new king. And I think that king will be AC Milan. I think Samuel Chukwueze will win the Serie A title with AC Milan next season. So I think Osimhen already, Osimhen is a prophet. So both Boniface and Chukwueze, they're very close pals of Victor Osimhen. So he's going to go and anoint Chukwueze now. So that Chukwueze will be the next Serie A champion. So I'll have saved Victor Osimhen, but maybe for Paris Saint-Germain, but I don't think that one is that is it. Apologies for that. I don't count that one as a league winning league with PSG. I don't count that one as winning league. But I just think that Samuel Chukwueze, I think it might be the champion.
For me,
Tella might win with Leverkusen.
So I would say Chukwueze with Milan is a very good. I think that's a good choice. But I want to just be different from you. I want to give a different opinion. So I think in England, I'm going to say whichever of Victor Osimhen or Victor Boniface moves to England is going to be the next champion. If both of them move, it now depends on which club they join. I think if one of them should join Arsenal, as much as I hate Arsenal, but if one of them should join Arsenal, I think they can be the striker that Arsenal needs to take them over the hump. Arsenal is a bottling team right now. They get there, they compete, they bottle. They are bottling it again this year. I think if Osimhen or Boniface should join Arsenal, they might be that missing key to take Arsenal over the line and over the hump to become champion of England. So that will be my guess. And then if I want to just say a dark horse for me, I would say in the French Ligue 1, even though Layi does not want to count it, but I'm just going to say my dark horse team, OGC Nice and Teremorphy. This season they are about to qualify for Europe. If they can keep it up, maybe they can be like a Leverkusen and win the French Ligue 1. That's assuming Mbappe leaves PSG and Osimhen does not join PSG. I think PSG might struggle a little bit next season, and the Ligue 1 is going to be more open, and maybe OGC Nice can be crowned the champions.
Okay, can I just ask you my question?
Yeah, go on.
You cover Nigerian league. What is that? We have more players fighting relegation than winning the league.
I mean, I don't want to slander our Nigerian players on this platform, but at the end of the day, it speaks to the quality of the players that we have. The reality of it is that most of our players are not, top club level footballers. It's not a knock on them. For you to play in the Premier League is a good thing, is a big deal. For you to play in Europe's top 5 leagues is a big deal. But most of our players are not, Arsenal quality, Man City quality, PSG quality. There are few and far in between that are, of that very high level. But the good thing, the positive part of it is that there are more and more players that are coming up that have potential to be able to play for those big teams. Just a couple years ago, a lot of people did not even know who Victor Boniface was. Now he's a champion in Germany. A lot of people did not know who Tella was. Now he's a champion in Germany. So we have more players coming up like that, continuing to show themselves, and I think if you ask this question in the next 5 years, we'll have so many more Nigerian players playing for top teams. I strongly believe so.
No, I believe so. So I just believe that some of our players too that are playing for relegation battlers, it's not as if they can't play for a Tottenham. It's not as if they cannot play for Aston Villa. I know. So in my opinion, I just think that it's just the way it is. That's it.
Yeah, but we'll see. And of course, being African also doesn't help too much because a lot of these clubs would rather go for their European. Look at Man U. They signed Haaland. How many goals did Haaland score in Atalanta before they signed him? Things like that. So they really, for you as an African, you have to be exceptional for them to sign you in those kind of situations. But yeah, I mean, look at Nicholas Jackson that got signed from Chukwueze's Villarreal to Chelsea. It's not great. It's not better than a lot of the Nigerian attackers that we have, but he got signed to Chelsea. So sometimes it's also opportunity. Sometimes it's your agents and the connections you have. All these factors that play in football. But yes, congratulations once again to Victor Boniface and Tella, champions of Germany, and hopefully champions of the treble. Let's see how that goes. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Thank you very, very much for joining us on this episode. As always, my name is AyoT. My co-host is
Smith Layi.
This is the
Thanks for
Naija
joining.
FC Podcast. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.